Okay, aloha, my fellow teachers and professionals. Today I will be presenting one of the aspects of words that it's very helpful in our writings, and also it's helpful for us to teach our students to develop their writing skills. So this aspect is connotations. And now let's next slide. So the contents for today will be the meaning of connotations and how to identify connotations in words and in sentence or writings, and also especially with connotations in writing, because that's the main topics of our presentation today. And now we will lastly look at the benefits of using connotations in our writing, because it's very beneficial and promotes to help promote our writing. So now let's just to review some of the some of the readings that you guys have read, and you can see connotations here, and all word has a connotations. It's not just some of the words or nouns or verb. All words has a connotations, and connotation is the idea that it's suggested by or associated with the words. So when you look at a word, what the natural image or message that it conveys to you, that's kind of what that means by connotations. And connotation has positive connotations and negative connotations. That tells the meaning or the feelings, how you feel when you look at some of the words. For example, now let's look at some examples here. So for example, if we use the word blue, it just the denotations or the literal meanings of this word is just a color, blue. But it could also means, or it could also be used to describe a feeling of sadness. Now, as you can look at the pictures here, all the sad face are all in blue. So if you wanted to describe someone's feeling, you can say he is feeling blue. So it's not like he's turning blue, but he's feeling it's blue. That's kind of like a deeper or hidden meanings of the word blue. And that's how we can identify connotations in words, as we, according to our own cultures, experience, and backgrounds, we can have we naturally just cultivate a deeper meaning or hidden meanings of certain words. Now let's look at some more examples here. The first picture is just a shape of a heart. So that's the denotation, the literal meanings of this heart shape in red. And but for some people, or for a lot of the people, when they look at it, they also kind of think, oh, that means love, or that means expressing love to someone, or that means someone had a lot of love or loving. That's like the deeper, or that's the meaning that associated with this word. That's the connotations of this heart shape. And then now let's look at another examples here. It's a cross on the mountain, right? And that's the denotation, a wooden cross on the mountain. And then the literal meaning of this picture or the word. However, when people with religious background, or are very faithful in Christian, when they look at a cross, they would think of, oh, Jesus Christ means death, a sacrifice, Christian, a lot of this deeper or hidden meaning associated with this wooden cross. So that's also the connotations of this words here or picture. Now, as we mentioned earlier, that connotation have positive and negative connotations. And how does it work, or how does it feel if it's positive or negative? Let's look at some examples here. For example, the words childlike and youthful, they both means like immature image or kids or teenagers. But in negative connotations, people, if the writer is trying to describe someone that's very childlike, and that's just naturally convey a negative connotation to the readers, like, oh, this person is very immature, or he always does something improperly, and that's kind of a negative message conveyed to the reader because of what the word choice that the reader used. And then youthful. youthful has a very positive connotations. If the writer is right, oh, he's very youthful, that's naturally convey a message to the reader that this person is very energetic and is very lively and active in doing things. So that's the positive connotation that the reader trying to convey. And then that's, as you already get familiar with how connotations can convey important message or to shape characters. Now let's look at how it is used in writing. So writers often use connotations in writing to create emotional association. So there are 3 types of connotations. So writers use connotation to create emotional feelings to the reader or help to make emotional connections with the reader. And there are 3 types of connotation. The first one is positive, words that conjure a favorable emotional response. So writer trying to use the words that can cultivate a positive image, or readers can have a positive thinking responding to the message that they read. And negative connotations, when a negative connotation is made, it presents the persons or things in an unfavorable light. So that's kind of shapes the characters of things or events in a negative way when the reader read them. Create a negative emotion or feelings to the reader, or trying to get what the writer is trying to write. And lastly, neutral connotations. This is when a word says what it means with a neutral point of view and with no attached positive or negative connotation. So it's like in the middle. When you read it, you can't really feel if it's leaning to one side or the other. Now let's look at how it is used in writing. For example, if we want to describe someone that's very ambitious, a positive connotations writers trying to convey a positive connotations or use positive connotations, he will write he's a go-getter, or he's very proactive, a youthful. So when you read the sentence, you will naturally think, oh, this is a good person. Here's my examples. I want to be like him. But in the negative connotation, the writer was trying to write something like, he's an overachiever, he's an overthinker. So that means, oh, this person might be doing a little bit too much. He's too proactive that people surrounding him may not like you. And that's the image that the reader trying to create by using different words that has positive and negative connotations. And lastly, neutral connotations. Writers can just write, oh, he's ambitious. He's ambitious, but doesn't necessarily mean that he's in a good way or in a bad way. So it's important for us to know how we can use connotations in writing to shape readers' thinking or to shape the emotional or connections with the readers. Lastly, why people use connotations or like benefits of using it. It helps writers to set writing tones or style. If you tend to write a really positive message to others, you can use positive connotations a lot in your writing. And also vice versa. It helps to create imaginary to readers. It just helps your writing, your literacy or your work become more interesting to readers to imagine. When reader reads some sentence, they can kind of thinking, oh, this is trying to create a positive image or a negative image. Also, they can kind of connect to what their own experience, better understand your message. And people use connotation to shape character. It's very useful. When you're trying to say something good or bad about someone, you can use a lot of the positive or negative connotations. And with these words, and readers can feel strongly how you feel about this character and how outstanding this character can be. And lastly, enrich the emotions of the words or your writing. If you just keep using the words that has like very simple or neutral, people can't feel a very strong emotions in your writing. But if you use a lot of the connotations, people can feel oh, you're very strong in one side or you're strong in other side. So it's very good to build up your claims or to support your opinions by using these connotations. Lastly, so before that, I've been talking about how we can use connotations in writing and how they can be beneficial to our writings. But for teachers, when we teach connotation, we need to be careful because connotation often so associated with learners' backgrounds and socials and religions, a lot of the personal information. So we need to be careful with that because it could be very confusing and abstract to a lot of the beginning learner because they haven't built up a lot of the language background yet. So connotation, it's better to teach the older learner or intermediate English learner. And also we can help them to, as they get older or they get better in the English proficiency, we can use connotation to, we can teach them connotation to set their writing style, writing tones, and to help them build a strong academic writing. So this is all about connotations in writing. I hope you get some helpful information to your, for your own learnings or for your own teachings. And thank you.